I just wanted to watch a guy review a frozen pizza. That's it. That was the level of intellectual ambition I had for my Tuesday. Instead, I got hit with a digital age verification wall so thick, it felt like the internet hired a mall cop to audit my existence. No more click here if you're 18. In 2026, the honor system is officially dead. The web is quietly shifting from click and watch to prove you're a citizen of the adult world. And it's not just a glitch, it's a global regulatory wave that is changing the machine right under our feet. Here is why the pinky swear era of the internet is over, and why your face is about to become your newest password. I promise I'm 100% organic. If I were an AI, I'd definitely have a mute button for my own rambling by now. Picture me on a Tuesday lunch break, 2026 energy, brain at 12%, sitting in the office chair that squeaks like it's filing a harassment complaint. 3 tabs open. An ambitious recipe I'll never cook, a depressing headline I shouldn't have read before noon, and a video titled something like, I reviewed every frozen pizza so you don't have to. I know it's trash, you know it's trash, but my thumb clicked anyway. The video is about to start, I'm ready for the payoff. Maybe a cat wipes out, maybe the reviewer burns his tongue and does that ah dance, then the screen hard cuts to a box, please verify your age. Not are you over 18 like 2007. Not a cute checkbox. No, this is the internet, and it's got that dead-eyed HR tone, like it's about to ask me to describe a time I overcame adversity by rearranging my desktop icons, and the thing just sits there. No anger, no urgency, just pure bureaucratic patience. The calmness that makes it feel sinister. I stare at it, and my brain does the fastest flashback montage ever. Remember the pinky swear era? You'd land on some neon fever dream website, selling Blitz Rage energy drinks, and the entire security system was a big button that said I am over 18. You clicked it, lied with your whole chest, and the internet shrugged. Everyone knew. Nobody cared. It was a ritual, not a prison gate. Then somewhere between 2012 and 2020, the internet stopped being a hobby and became the building we all live inside. Work, banking, dating, family photos, group chats, therapy memes, and the occasional spiral where you learn too much about geopolitics at 1:14 a.m. You don't go online anymore, you just exist, and the network is part of your oxygen supply. So the honor system died, and in its place, receipts, logs, compliance, the same managerial brain that can't order lunch without making a spreadsheet, decided the web needed a bouncer. The worst part isn't that it's strict, it's that it's corporate. Because now, instead of a checkbox, you get a gauntlet. Sometimes it's upload ID, sometimes it's credit card check, sometimes it's use your webcam. Yeah, webcam. Like I'm trying to get into a nightclub, except the nightclub is a 10-second clip of a guy reviewing pepperoni density. And the webcam version is peak dystopia, but not the cool kind. No neon rain, no flying cars, just me at home in boxers, laundry pile in the corner, being told by a faceless system to tilt your head slightly left. It's a police lineup directed by an algorithm that thinks humans are perfectly lit stock photos. Take off glasses, move closer, more light. Now less light, don't smile too much. Congratulations, you look suspiciously young. Try again. It's like the machine is offended that I don't have a default face preset. And here's the part that makes me laugh. So I don't scream, I'm not even a young-looking person. I have the 1,000-yard stare of someone who's seen Excel pivot tables ruin a Friday. I have the I pay taxes posture. I make that involuntary dad noise when I stand up, yet I'm still here, negotiating with a pop-up. Adulthood is apparently a subscription service now. So how did we get here? Context before specificity, because the specifics only make sense once you see the incentives. In the mid-2010s, platforms built engagement machines. Every feed became a slot machine. Swipe, refresh, dopamine pellet. It worked, shareholders clapped. The whole industry learned that time on platform beats quality of life every day of the week. And if you think this is just adult sites, YouTube is already testing AI age estimation. In July 2025, YouTube said it would extend teen protections using age estimation. And if the model tags you as under 18, you can unlock age-restricted videos only by verifying with ID, a selfie, or a credit card. The algorithm can ground you, and you have to appeal to the robot judge. Then the backlash hit. Parents, lawmakers, privacy advocates, journalists, everyone started asking why the digital world looked like a casino built inside a daycare. And now, in the 2020s, the political class is doing what it always does: respond late, respond loudly, and respond with rules that sound good in a press conference. In the UK, the Online Safety Act pushed services toward highly effective age assurance for porn and other harmful content, and the regulator Ofcom has published guidance about what counts as robust checks. Regulators love the phrase highly effective because it sounds like a vacuum cleaner commercial. Across the EU, the Commission released an age verification blueprint in July 2025 that's supposed to let people prove they're over 18 without handing over extra personal data, and it's designed to be interoperable with the EU digital identity wallet ecosystem. When governments say privacy-preserving, my wallet instinctively hides under the couch, and the momentum is getting hotter, not cooler. Spain's government announced plans to ban social media access for under 16s and require real age verification. Not just trust me bro buttons, it's the kind of headline that makes executives smile and engineers sweat. Australia has been going hard too, with major platforms reporting mass account removals tied to underage use, while also admitting the tech has gaps. Nothing says confidence like, we blocked 400,000 accounts, but also this might not work. And in the United States, keep passing age gating bills or App Store verification laws, with tech companies fighting about who should carry the blame and the cost. Utah's App Store verification law is a perfect example. Meta and Snap like it because it shifts responsibility to Apple and Google hate it because it could force every adult to hand over sensitive info. Watching billion-dollar companies argue about privacy is like watching wrestlers argue about sportsmanship. So yeah, the age wall on my pizza video isn't random. It's the downstream effect of a regulatory wave, plus corporate self-preservation, plus advertisers who don't want to be on the front page next to the word minors. Now let's talk about the vibe, because this is where the culture war air starts creeping in. The public pitch is always the same: we're doing it for the kids. That line is the political equivalent of putting on a safety vest. Suddenly you're a hero, even if you're building a mess. And look, I'm not anti-kid. I was a kid. I did kid things. I survived the era of unsupervised internet, and somehow didn't turn into a cautionary documentary. The problem isn't the goal, it's the method and the incentives behind it, because the method being sold is AI age estimation and biometrics and frictionless verification. Translation: the platform gets to scan your face, guess your age, and call that guess a fact. If the lighting is bad, you fail. If you look tired, you fail. If you have youthful skin, but the soul of a burnt-out middle manager, the system starts buffering, like it just saw an eldritch horror. And this isn't hypothetical. Platforms and regulators are openly discussing age assurance methods, including things like facial age estimation as part of compliance toolkits. We're building a future where your face becomes a password, and that's supposed to be comforting. Here's the managerial mind at work. They don't dream of a world that feels human, they dream of a world that is defensible. They want a screenshot, a log entry, a box ticked. When the hearings happen, when the lawsuit comes, when the angry journalist calls, they can say, we followed protocol. That's the entire religion. It's corporate Memphis morality. Faceless purple people with noodle arms holding clipboards, saving civilization one flowchart at a time. The slide deck is the real product. And yes, the irony is vicious. The same platforms that engineered addiction machines are now acting like they're the guardians of childhood. It's like a guy who sold you cigarettes for 10 years, suddenly shows up with a pamphlet about breathing exercises. Age gates protect the company first. They're legal armor with a friendly UI. They reduce liability. They make advertisers feel safer. They make regulators pause. And if the system sucks for adults, that's just acceptable friction in a quarterly report. When something feels inconvenient, ask who profits from the inconvenience. Because guess what else age verification does? It creates a pipeline of identity data. Even if a company claims it deletes your info, the whole ecosystem benefits from normalization. Once the public accepts Show ID to watch a video, it becomes easier to demand Show ID to post, Show ID to comment, Show ID to stream, and eventually Show ID to exist. And I'm supposed to trust this with a straight face. The same internet that remembers a tweet you liked in 2012 and resurrects it like a ghost. The same ad network that figures out you're thinking about hiking boots because you paused on a picture for half a second. The web can't even keep your passwords safe, and now it wants your face. Meanwhile, the effectiveness question is awkward, because nobody wants to say it out loud. If you're determined, you can bypass a lot of this. VPNs exist, borrowed IDs exist, workarounds exist. Some people will always slip through. Even some industry and research commentary has pointed out that strict checks can push users toward less regulated platforms. When you block the front door, people don't stop, they climb through a window you don't control. That Pornhub, ILO UK situation is a perfect case study. They've publicly complained about the UK's framework and, according to reporting, started restricting UK access in early February 2026, rather than playing along the way regulators want. Nothing says healthy policy rollout, like major sites pulling levers and users scattering. So, what happens next? Two paths, both annoying. Path 1, the checks get stricter and more universal. App stores verify. Platforms verify. Everyone verifies. Your phone becomes a passport office. That's the safety timeline. Path 2, the checks stay messy, people bypass them. And we end up with a two-tier internet, the sanitized mainstream that's locked behind identity gates, and the wild shadow web where anything goes. That's the unintended consequences timeline. Either way, the casual user pays the tax. And yes, it feels like a tax. Not in money at first, in attention, in patience, in dignity. It's death by 1,000 pop-ups. Now, I can already hear the comments, just comply, bro. It's for children. Okay, let's be adults for a second and talk about scale. You can't automate parenting. You can't outsource the 200 AM conversation to a terms of service update. You can't replace trust and guidance with a facial scan that guesses age within a couple years and calls it protection. And if your solution requires every adult to identify themselves, you've turned a kid's safety issue into a mass surveillance architecture problem. That's why App Store age verification laws trigger such a big fight. Whoever runs verification becomes a choke point for identity. The "for the kids" sticker doesn't magically make the privacy math work. Also, notice how "think of the children" always comes bundled with "trust the platform." The same platform that runs on outrage, engagement bait, and algorithmic amplification. Spain's plan even talks about holding executives accountable and targeting algorithmic manipulation, because everyone knows the feed is the engine. The debate isn't just age, it's power. Because once identity becomes required, speech changes. People self-censor. Whistleblowers vanish. Marginalized communities lose safety. And the culture war crowd gets a new lever. If you don't support this, you must hate kids. It's the laziest form of argument, and it works because nobody wants to be the villain in a cartoon. Policy by moral panic is how you get bad systems with good slogans. Let me ground this back in my pizza video, because that's the point. These changes don't arrive as a dramatic announcement. They arrive as tiny frictions, one prompt at a time, until the baseline shifts. One day it's confirm your age, next year it's scan your face. The year after that it's link your digital ID wallet. In 2025, the EU is already talking about interoperability with digital identity wallets. Once the pipes are built, the pressure to use them never goes away. And the platforms love it. Because the more verified you are, the more valuable you become to the ad machine. It's not just about keeping kids out, it's about keeping adults trackable. So, there I am, in my chair doing the ritual. Click, upload, retry. The pop-up acts like it's doing me a favor by allowing me to prove I'm allowed to exist inside its little gated garden. At one point the system wants better lighting, and I'm literally adjusting a desk lamp like I'm filming a hostage proof of life video. When the internet makes you stage manage your face, something has gone off the rails. Finally, after enough friction that my lunch has cooled into sadness, the video loads. 15 seconds. A cat attempts a fridge jump, fails, slides down like a cartoon, then walks away with the confidence of someone who will absolutely do it again in 5 minutes. The cat is fine. Me, I'm sitting there thinking about how insane it is that in 2026 I had to negotiate with a machine to watch a clip that could have been a GIF in 2009. The content was forgettable, but the checkpoint wasn't. And that's the real takeaway. The age wall isn't about the pizza. It's about normalizing a future where platforms act like border guards, regulators act like product managers, and adults act like suspects, until a system grants them access. So yeah, I closed the tab. Not because I'm brave, but because I'm tired. And that's the sneaky part, most people won't fight this. They'll just click through, because they're busy, because they want the cat clip, because the friction is designed to be tolerated. The machine doesn't need you to like the new rules. It just needs you to comply. Where trading friction for data, and think of the children, has become the ultimate legal armor for a massive new surveillance architecture. But I want to know, where do you draw the line? Are you fine with a quick face scan if it keeps the bad stuff away, or are we just building a gated garden that's going to lock us all in? Drop a comment below, tell me if you've run into the webcam gauntlet yet, or if you're already moving your life to the shadow web. And if you're tired of the algorithm grounding you, hit subscribe. We'll navigate the collapse together. I'm going to go eat this cold pizza now. Apparently, I don't need an ID for that yet.